35 minutes past hour number 2. Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show on Fox Sports Radio. This week on Fox NFL Sunday, Donovan McNabb and the Redskins battle the Chicago Bears. That's in Chicago. Or the Eagles and Titans face one another. 49ers, Panthers, or Rams, Buccaneers. Or the Cardinals head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks in an NFC West showdown. Coverage begins this week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific with the Ford Fox NFL pregame show brought to you by the all-new Ford Edge. Drive one. Check local listings for the games and start times in your area. It is 36 minutes past the hour, and right now on the Stephen A. Smith Show, did you all see the Blues Brothers? I'm not on a mission from God, but I'm on a mission to make sure Boise State doesn't get screwed here on the line. And I wrote that. I said that, actually, because that's Dan Filato saying that. That's not me. He wanted me to read that to you all and wanted me to take credit for it. I'm not taking credit for such corny slogans. That's him. That's Dan Filato who wrote that to me. I love him, okay? It was funny to him, all right? Wasn't so funny to me, but he's great at it, so maybe it's funny to the rest of you, okay? He wrote that line, and as a tribute to my executive producer, I wanted to read that to intro our next guest. He's the sports editor.
If Martin Lawrence had written that, you would be laughing your ass off. That's all I got to say.
Whatever.
It's so funny.
Whatever. He is the sports editor of The Arbiter, Boise State student newspaper. His name is Mr. Trent Lootens, and he is on the line with us right now. What's going on, man? Good morning. How are you, buddy? How's everything?
Going well, man. How are you doing, Stephen
What's your
A?
grade point average, first of all? I want to see if you deserve to be on this line right now, because I don't want you on these airwaves taking time out of your busy schedule when you could be studying if your GPA sucks. So what's your GPA?
Over 3.0, Stephen A.
It's over 3.0?
Over 3.0, man.
All right, that's that's cum laude. That's cum laude. All right, I can live with that. Well, first of all,
how many dates you have this month?
What's that?
How many dates?
Dates? Oh, man, dude. I can't even
Dan,
count them anymore.
all right,
I've lost count, Stephen A.
All right,
Trent,
this guy's in.
Dan, I'm sorry to break this news to you. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show. I don't want you talking to Trent right now. Trent's called to talk to me. Sit back, relax, be the executive producer extraordinaire that you are. I'll take over from here. Trent, you wanted to come on this show because what was the reason for it, man? I mean, I imagine that you're disgusted by the way Boise State is getting screwed yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I've been on the same page all year, man, and I've been on the same page as you. I just want to tell you how much Bronco Nation appreciates your support, man. Definitely hasn't gone unnoticed here in Boise, but yeah, you know, the BCS rankings came out the other day, and it's just hard for us to handle right now. We've put together so many good seasons here at BSU consecutively in a row, and you know, Boise State feels like it should be rewarded for that.
Well, let me ask you this: what if you wanted to make the most compelling argument to the BCS, the BS folks is what I call them, but but it's the BCS folks. What would be your most compelling argument that you should be one of the top 2 ranked teams in the nation?
It's the fact that BSU is a very deep team. Everybody says they couldn't play a Pac-10 schedule, you know, go across the nation and play the East Coast teams. But Boise State, they're a deep team, man. A lot of people don't notice that. I mean, on the defensive line right now, Boise State's 7 guys deep. I mean, they can replace, you know, the starters, put the second teamers in there, and they bring the same intensity every play. And, you know, I was on Oregon radio the other day, and they were asking me if, you know, Boise State could run the Pac-10 schedule, but I don't even know if they could run the WAC schedule, because Boise State, you know, if they go undefeated this year, that'll be 4 out of 5 consecutive seasons that they've gone undefeated in the WAC.
Well,
that's a big number.
That's a big number, but the WAC is WAC. Let's be real about that.
Yeah,
The WAC is kind of whack, okay? but we're talking to Trent Lootens, sports editor for the school newspaper, The Arbiter at Boise State University. He's right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Mr. Trent Lootens, with a GPA over 3.0, by the way. But let me say this. Let me say this to you, buddy. I don't think that's the argument that you should be making. Because the WAC is whack. I don't mean to sound like Whitney Houston, you know, when they were talking about her on being on drugs when she said crack is whack, crack is whack. You guys don't sound like that. I don't mean to go in that direction. But I will say this to you. Here's the problem. The students at Boise State, this is the argument that you need to make. There is no playoff system. Exactly. All you can do is play the games that are in front of you. And no matter what their strength of schedule is or lack thereof, you knew what their schedule was before you ranked them as one of the top 3 teams in the nation. So the presumption is if Alabama, who's number 1 2 weeks ago until they lose to South Carolina, they lose. If Ohio State, who was number 2 in the nation and was elevated to the number 1 before losing to Wisconsin this past week, if both of those top 2 teams in the nation got knocked off, then basically Boise State should have been elevated because there's no playoff system to deny you the opportunity for being elevated since you started off in the preseason polls as the number 3 ranked team in the nation and you've crushed everybody in front of you. That's the most compelling argument that you guys should make.
Exactly. And, it's also the fact that, Boise State does get jumped by these teams that start the preseason behind them. And they always bring up the argument that last season doesn't matter. Well, then why are you ranking these teams, where they are in the preseason polls? The preseason polls, like you said, have BSU at number 3. The 2 teams in front of them lost. BSU should be number 1 right now.
So what are you guys going to do about it? I mean, what kind of pep rallies are you planning? Have you spoken to your head coach, your head football coach? Have you talked to him about it? Have you said, damn it, we've got to do something about this? I mean, has he been outspoken about it? He seems to just be playing the games and leaving all the noise to the rest of us.
Yeah, Coach Pete, he's a classy guy. He doesn't like getting involved in the BCS argument. He always says the BCS has worked for his team in the past. It'll work for him in the future. The BCS has put Boise State in 2 games. They've won both of them. And he just doesn't like getting involved in it. He likes keeping his players focused. Doesn't really like his players talking about it either. And they come out and perform at a high level every week. And they're kids too, just like all these other big schools. They get nervous before games. They get butterflies, yet they never have those let-down games. They always come out and play their best and win games, whether it's on the road, at home, neutral sites. He has his team prepared, mentally and physically every single game, but yet he doesn't ever lobby for the BCS at all.
And see, that's exactly why I'm hesitant to show up on campus there, because I don't want to come unless the coach and the football program themselves invite me, because you got a situation there where you never know what the BS folks, aka the BCS folks, will hold against them. And I don't want to sit there and go I appreciate the invite that I've gotten from the student body there, because I've gotten it, and boy do I want to come on a Saturday for a tailgate party. But I don't want to do something that would alienate the coach or the football program in terms of what they're trying to accomplish, because these BS folks, aka the BCS folks, could use any excuse to screw them over. That's my concern. But I get an invite from the football program. Trust me, I'm showing up. I can promise you that. I just want to let you know that, okay? I'm not reneging on it at all. I get an invite from them. I will show up, and I will. And by the way, the mayor seems like a very, very nice guy, and I think that Mr. Beater, Mayor Beater, and I think that he'd invite me to chill with him in the suite for a game. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No way, man. Beater's the man, and the students want you here bad, Stephen A. They would come out in droves for you.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, and that means a lot to me. And I'm not saying I'm not going to come, but I'm saying it's a little bit hard for me knowing your coach is the way that he is, and he probably doesn't want that kind of attention brought there, because he'll probably think it's a PR stunt. He doesn't realize I don't do PR stunts. I don't give a damn. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I think the BCS folks are a bunch of BS. I think they're full of it. I can't stand them. They make me sick. And they've been making me sick for years, and I've been clamoring for a playoff system, because if you had a playoff system, then none of this will matter, because Boise State would be in the playoffs, and you know what? They'd handle their business that way. I'm not saying you guys will win a national championship, because I don't know the answer to that, but I do believe that you deserve the opportunity to compete in a national championship game if you run the table during the regular season. Trent Lootens, I think it would be an absolute disgrace if you guys are not playing in that national championship game. I think it's highway robbery.
It is highway robbery. It's just the fact that BSU really has earned it, I feel like. They've won the 2 BCS games. They went across the entire nation and beat Virginia Tech. And everything that the nation continues to ask of BSU, they continue to perform and deliver.
Last quick question. People are saying that you've avoided playing several teams. Is that true?
No, that's not true at all.
Okay.
In fact, the athletic department has been trying to schedule big teams, but they won't schedule us. And Utah got invited to the Pac-10 just a couple weeks ago, they cut the deal that Boise State had planned with them for a season series starting next year.
Let me say this to you. I got to let you go right now, but remember what I said to you, my man. You with the 3.0 GPA or above 3.0 GPA, the cum laude student, the sports editor of The Arbiter, the newspaper at Boise State University. Listen to me and listen good. Don't make the argument about the whack, because the whack is whack.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Don't make that anymore. All right.
Can we get one cheer? Can we get one Boise cheer before you leave?
No. You ain't got to do that. You'll lose cool points that way, Trent Lootens. He's there for Lotto. He doesn't count. He's just the executive producer.
Trent.
He has no cool points whatsoever.
Boise.
Don't turn in your man card, Trent. I'm trying to keep you good with the honeys. All right. Listen to your boy Stephen A. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. You take it easy.
All right. Thanks, man.
Trent Lootens, sports editor for The Arbiter, school newspaper at Boise State University. I like to have the students on the show. You know why, Jake?
Why is that?
Because Stevie A love the kids. He sure does. He love the kids. Back. You know what? I'm thinking about letting Dan Byer do Deb's News and Notes. I'll think about that. I'll decide what I'm going to do. I got the lines filled up, so I got to go to the calls. But I'm thinking about letting Dan Byer do Deb's News and Notes. I want to see how he do under such duress. I'll think about the pressure I'm going to put him under. I'll think about that for a second. Let him sweat a little bit. We'll be back with more of the Stephen A. Smith Show on Fox Sports Radio in a minute. I love this song, by the way, Jake. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you. With the punches and give them what's real. Why can't you see I'm standing here? I got my back against the wrecking machine. Just you see. Why can't you see what I mean? Ah, might as well jump. Ow!